Here's something I think a lot of people don't understand about God is that everything good or bad will lead back to him getting the glory at some point or sometimes instantly. And so a lot of people, the comments are very split on this angel that appeared in Greece after an earthquake yesterday. A lot of people are saying that, oh no, like this was no angel, this was a demon, this was project, you know what I'm saying? Let's say out of the 255,000 people who has seen that video in the last 24 hours, let's say out of that 255,000 people, there were 2,000 people that said, you know what? I see the signs in the world. I see all the signs. I need to get right with God. And then they say something along the lines of, dang, and it's happened right after an earthquake. That is surely a sign from God. Do you not know that God can take even what the enemy meant for evil? So even if it was project, you know what? God can take that and still turn it to his good. And if 2,000 people either A, turned back to Christ, or 2,000 people gave their life to Christ and got serious, you do know that that video was edifying, right? Also, you do understand that even if it were project, you know what? The enemy doesn't know that it's still leading back to God. In the end, he's still getting the glory. So essentially, it does not matter. I feel like so many people come on to TikTok or in comment sections and just try to be like so self-righteous and right all the time and always think that they have the facts and the truth. The thing is, you don't. And that's okay to not always have the right answer. But one thing you do have to understand that if God is getting the glory in the end, whether it's evil or good, then that God mapped that out. Also, I just want to be very clear with y'all. I do not pastor anymore. I'm not a pastor. I'm not recording videos from a pastoral lens. I'm recording video from news and information across the world that can lead back to Christ, or news and information that, or just news and information in general that I can relate back to Christ. And so if I can lead it back to Christ, which would be anything in the world, that's what I talk about on my videos. Then also, because I'm a believer, right, I'm also going to point people back to Christ every single time. Do we understand that? So whether this was an angel for real, Project BB, a fallen angel, if, you know what I'm saying? If it was any of those things, does not matter. Why? Because if 2,000 people out of 255,000 people got to hear the gospel of Christ, had got to hear something about God in that video, and it led them either to God or, you know what I'm saying? Like, made them turn their attention back to God, that is a good thing. You do understand that, right? Also understand that childlike faith goes a long way. Goes a long way. Those of you who want to be right all the time and think that you're the smartest people in the world, I'm telling you, you are ridding yourself of childlike faith. Just relax. Chill out, bro. So a lot of Christians believe that they are setting us up for a alien invasion, but a fake one. There's a belief that there's going to be the rapture, and the only way that they're going to be able to explain it away is to just say that the aliens took them and not God took the Christians, right? And I'm talking in this way because it's a theory, right? So apparently it'll happen like this. That's the reason why there's all these things happening in the sky. There's the drones, there's the orbs, there's the aliens in the oceans, there's the, like, that's why everything is kind of culminating to show us that our world is not what we have thought it was for centuries, right? And that everything is a big lie. And one of the things that, one of the theories is that when the rapture happens, they are going to explain it away and say the aliens took these people, when really it was God. Once again, to drive the narrative that basically a God doesn't exist. Mind you, everything God does, Satan wants to emulate. He wants to copy. Mind you, aliens are not real. They're demons. And I keep saying this. I've said this months and months and months ago. They are not aliens. They're demons. So a demon invasion will happen. But it won't be like the movies. It'll be something of biblical proportions. And so it seems like they're just creating a narrative right now. They're like, it's kind of like the people who build their portfolio, and then it's like, you know what I'm saying? So they're building their portfolio right now, making all these things happen. And I wouldn't be super shocked if they've been in communication with these demonic beings, and they're telling them exactly how it's going to play out and exactly how to run it right now. The world is a stage. Remember, the world is a stage. So I know that y'all would not believe this unless I showed proof and y'all actually saw it for your own eyes. So today there was an earthquake in Greece, and then you felt it in parts of Turkey and in Egypt. And it was a magnitude 6.0. You got to see it to believe it, right? But the craziest thing about this is that in the skies in Greece, after this earthquake happened, this is what appeared in the sky. I want you to look really closely because this is the same picture from a different angle. What does that look like? An angel appeared in the sky after this earthquake. A large angel, by the way. Look at that. And it's not a silhouette of nothing. It's it looks like a being with light. No clouds. It's not the sun that's doing it. It's a being. Clearly an angel, a very large one at that. So what's going on in our world today is the craziest thing that we've ever seen because the veil is thinning and Jesus is coming. We are getting to a point to where, like, to be completely honest with y'all, dude, like, none of what's happening in life makes sense to what life was like before a certain point. Like, we are literally heading towards Armageddon. We are truly heading towards the end of the world. And I would have never, like, growing up, thought that the world would be how it is today. And everyone is seeing it on the world stage. This is crazy. And prayers to anyone who was affected, lives lost. I don't think there was any lives lost or any casualties, but any property damage and things like that, because this is insane. An angel appeared after an earthquake. And then all the other signs has been happening, bro. Like, slow down. There was a 4.1 earthquake that happened today that was felt in parts of Tennessee and in parts of Atlanta. Like, both sides felt it. Two different, mind you, both of those states are not known for having earthquakes. Why in the world are they having earthquake? This is very interesting. And as we approach the end times, these things are going to continue to happen because remember in Matthew 27, Jesus says that there will be earthquakes in various places, in diverse places. And with that being said, that means that it'll happen in places, one, that it doesn't normally happen in, and two, it'll happen with more frequency and it'll be spread out. When was the last time y'all heard of Tennessee or Atlanta having an earthquake? Mind you, people said that they felt it and it woke them up out of their sleep. Also, is a big judgment coming to the US because we do know that Donald Trump just cut ties with Israel. And we know Israel is the Holy Land. No matter how much you want to hate on them, no matter, it's still the Holy Land, right? And so Donald Trump has just cut ties with them. And I think that was probably the only thing keeping America hanging on. So, in essence, when everyone says like the destruction of America is coming, now God seems like he's going to take his hands off of America if he hasn't already. And it looks like we're probably heading towards destruction. And I do think that these natural disasters that take place, I do think that is a sign of the times. So don't just laugh, mock, and scoff at these things that happen because you got to read the writing on the wall. There's nothing new under the sun. Remember, I always say this, look at everything with frequency and intensity as a woman in labor, as a woman travails through labor, frequency and intensity. So Donald Trump just turned his back on Israel. He has just cut ties with Benjamin Netanyahu. This seems very biblical, honestly. So the whole world is looking at Israel right now as the most evil group of people, the most evil place. The whole world's back is on Israel. Does that not give y'all Old Testament vibes? Like, literally, think about it. The only place that was backing Israel was the United States forever, honestly. And then all of a sudden, these two, apparently, Trump feels like Benjamin Netanyahu was trying to manipulate him into making certain decisions and choices, and Trump finally caught on. And so through that, he feels like he's been manipulated. Also, he just made a deal with their enemy. And I don't know if y'all saw that video of like a Houthi missile was in the sky while the Israeli people were on the beach and they all just started running because it was getting close to obviously touching down in Israel. Not really sure what happened from that. I'm pretty sure the Iron Dome took care of that. But Donald Trump made a deal with them, and he's also trying to make a deal with Saudi Arabia and Iran and basically all their enemies. And so technically, if you're not with me, then you're against me, right? And so this is kind of a little scary because Israel is technically being cut off. And we've seen that language used before in scripture. So what does this mean for the United States? It probably means that that announcement he's going to make on Monday is probably going to be something deeper than what we think, possibly, right? But also, is America's destruction on the way? Because could it have been that the only reason why we were being protected for so long in such an evil nation was because we were backing God's holy land? It's something to think about. It's definitely thought provoking, but this is pretty big news as it pertains to the Bible world. So there is a demonic group going around called the 764. Like, they're literally devil worshipers, Satan worshipers. It's a satanic group. But apparently what this satanic group is doing is that they're targeting kids online and in video games, and they are making kids do very, very, very sinister things, basically initiating them into their cult. And what they do is they start off really small by telling them to do something really small. And over time, they eventually get them to do something really big. Obviously a form of manipulation, starting off really small and eventually getting them to do something really big and really sinister. And when I say really big and really sinister, you can think about all the things that has gone on so far. Apparently they started off in the UK and now they're reaching rounds in the US, and you know the internet can reach anybody from anywhere. So pay attention to who your kids are talking to on video games, who they're talking to on their computer, and like is on social media. Monitor your kids because they are out to get them. And we all know that everyone who worships Satan, he tells them to target the children. 100%. And so y'all need to make sure what y'all kids are watching and what they're seeing, and make sure that they have not been exposed to the 764. Mind you, there are way more groups than this that are out there that obviously haven't been exposed yet. There was that Facebook group. I don't remember the details of it. I didn't look too deep into it, but I did see a couple videos on it that somebody had made. So pay attention to what your kids are doing and what they're seeing, because clearly y'all don't know how sinister this world is. So Donald Trump says that he has an announcement to make, and it's going to be the biggest news in U.S. history and in the world. He says he's going to announce this either today or on Monday. If I know him, he's going to push it out all the way to Monday and have everyone waiting and wondering. That's just how he is. But the question is, if we had to speculate, what could possibly be this huge announcement that'll basically shake the world? Now, I heard someone say that it's going to be probably Israel being the 51st state of the United States, and that would for sure shake the world, because essentially that means Israel is now like part of the U.S. and we can go there and be citizens. Likewise, they can come here and be citizens, which makes the U.S. also part of the Holy Land, which is also weird to think about. And then I heard some people saying that it is going to be the peace treaty, the one in the Bible, right? And if this man makes a peace treaty with the world, if that's the announcement he's going to make, and there's this 7-year peace deal, oh, buddy, then we can honestly say that all of the things that we thought that this man was, it would probably be confirmed when he makes that announcement. Otherwise, I don't know what it could be. I have no speculations of my own, simply because when people say that they have a really big announcement that's going to shake the world, it's typically underwhelming. And so the announcement might be underwhelming. It might be something that no one cares about, only he cares about, right? Because a lot of the rich people are out of touch with what we think and what we feel, so they don't know what's going to surprise us or what's going to shock us. So it could very well be nothing important at all. But if it is, you heard it here first.